looking, it takes about 20 seconds to do so. I guess what I should, and it is live streaming.
Yeah, it says it is.
It says live streaming. So I guess it's a good weather day for Jitsi, and I guess what I will then just go and do is ping all the other locations that still need to be pinged. I guess I'll do that here. I'll just say we've already got that. I guess I will hit up. Sigu came into the meeting the other day and said that they're planning like a pairing session at the weekend. Oh, I've gone all green. I'm not sure why. I guess that's. Do I look all green? Or is it
You
just
do,
me?
yes.
I do. There we go. Oh no, I've gone all multicolored again. There we go. That's fun. Okay, so that's the other people who conceivably might be interested in joining the meeting. And I've pinged it over here. One day we will get this into a smooth touching of a single button, and I will be very pleased. Right, oh, and it is there. Okay, copy video URL. So, I'll put the Hangout, the YouTube link in as well, and hopefully we're all ready. Okay, so I know we've already been talking about the stuff that you guys have got your thing, which is, you know, the acceptance test maybe not being a good test of the that bug, and maybe it's going to have to be Jasmine tests, and there's going to have some refactoring, and so on and so forth. I guess before diving into that discussion, and there's potentially a lot of different bits and pieces for us to look at there, let's just take a quick look at the board. I'm trying to think if I'm trying to find the screen sharing button now. If there's anything that's happened recently, I don't. Yeah, I will be seeing the client next week. Lexon and Cess have been coordinating on some of the things that they're doing. What I think I did do was, and I've been trying to do this on a few projects, is work through the outstanding pull requests just to kind of get us sorted. I think, did I manage to merge one or other? Anyway, I think that's sort of a general thing that we want to do, is try and get pull requests merged in. I managed to do this on website one by, you know, sometimes I have like people submit something, it doesn't have any tests, and my request is outstanding, like, oh, can you have some tests? And they say, yeah, I'll make some tests. And then a month passes and there's no tests. So I'm maybe going to try and do that with this Francis's one here. But anyway, that's that. I think we've got, is that Sigu who's joined us there? Hey, Sigu, all right. There's kind of a bit of white noise, but your audio is kind of a bit strange there, Sigu. Do you want to just try saying hello?
Hey, let me. Okay,
oh, yeah.
How about that?
That sounds fine. Yeah, I think it was somehow boosted up way high, but that sounds fine now. Cool. Okay. And I think Michael's also here. Go on, Michael.
Are you using Jitsi for this, or?
Yeah, I kind of set it up so that it automatically, just by using the Slackbot reminder, so it pings the link in there, which is
do we like that because it has the fixed URL?
Yeah, I mean, I would love,
like a meeting room or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I would love ultimately that we had fixed URLs available, like across the board, and then, you know, it could just be that it was there, and it doesn't require somebody to like actively start the meeting before it happens. And in fact, Brent was in here before me. So
you can actually do that in Google Hangouts. If you've got a G Suite account, you can create named rooms. Right. Yes, but they're not recordable. Oh, are they not? That we did. Yes. That was the challenge that we. And then there's actually lovely integrations with Slack. Again, all of them they're then not recordable. Okay. So it's it's whack-a-mole. So I guess let's just check in with Sigu. Have you got any items for the local support meeting agenda? I think that was it.
Not really. Other than the open source weekend issue that I was talking about.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. All right. So on that side. Yeah. What would be good would be if we were voting on and making sure that we had enough stories that are good for beginners. Maybe we. Oh, go on.
No, I was just going to say, is it worth Sigu giving us some more information about that? Because that's something I may be interested in if the timings work for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the idea is that we want to spend Saturday afternoons, so probably Monday, not Monday, Sunday afternoons, but we want to fix it on Saturday afternoon so that we take part in contributing to open source projects. We look for very beginner friendly issues so that we can do that for with friends. So far I have three friends who are interested in doing this, and there's a possibility that it will grow. So we want to be physically there or even do hangouts on this. So for example, if someone wants to take part in local support, we give them issues that they can do in less than 20 minutes. Other than the setup section, they can do something in less than 20 minutes, do a pull request, and within those 20 minutes, to teach someone how to even do collaboration, we can have them pair program. And we do this twice a month. Okay, so far we're looking at local support. I was to talk to Patrick. I don't know why the laziness got into me, but Open Farm, there's a project called Open Farm, not in Agile Ventures. It's separate. We've already talked to Open Farm. We've also talked to public labs. So public labs have their issues ready. Stella was suggesting that we do her issue. We help her do her issue so that at least 2 or 3 people contribute to the events. Yeah. So basically, that's the broad idea of open source weekends, and we do it on Saturday afternoons. Too much information, I guess.
No. That's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any questions for Sigu?
No, but yeah, it'd be great if you could just post that in one of the rooms so that people can join in if they're about.
Okay.
So
Yes, Michael?
is that about community building, like getting people interested in projects, or is that like what's the,
Yep,
what's the,
exactly. Okay, so the main reason as to why we decided to go this route is because there was a time we met and we wanted to contribute to Open Farm. Then we realized that some people who are doing open source are not as good as in documenting their issues as what I found out in LocalSupport and MedPlus in this. So we are also trying to train other maintainers on how to write issues that beginners can be comfortable in picking up.
Yeah. It sounds absolutely great. I was just going to check. Is this, when you mentioned Open Farm, is this the Open Farm site?
Exactly. Yep. This is the Open Farm. If you look at their issues, if you are a beginner, you cannot do anything on this site.
Sure.
Yes.
But one thing I'll just mention there before we get on to the local support issues is if there are groups like Open Farm, they can become Agile Ventures projects like the Wiki EDU dash, and even if they've got like a Slack thing, we can create shared channels between their Slack and our Slack. I don't know if you've seen have you been following at all the Wiki EDU dashboard project?
Not really, but I knew at some point there was some interns working on that.
Yes, and they also they funded Patrick for a while as a Scrum Master and project manager, but now we've got this basically shared, like the Slack channel that we have for them is actually shared between Agile Ventures and them. So you see where it says Wiki EDU on these people here. These are people who are not necessarily in Agile Ventures Slack, but we can have, you can see like, Agile Ventures people and people from the other group, and we provide them with support, and like our bots work in there and greet people and tell them about these sorts of things. So if Open Farm is interested in support for their open source community, that's something we can provide.
Ah, nice. This is great. I didn't know we can share channels.
Yeah, it's a new thing from Slack. So,
nice.
Yeah, cool. Well, so that I guess I was just coming in here and looking at our backlog, and we've got, a couple of 1-point bugs. We've got a 1-point search local events. I mean, I think issues that you can address in 20 minutes is somewhat optimistic, even for our simplest issues, if you know what I mean. I think I would probably say, independently of the setup, a 1-pointer with some support, a beginner might be able to do within an hour is sort of more the time frame. I mean, maybe we can slice them up finer, but yeah, I guess the thing to do is, shall we, for over the next 10 minutes, try and vote on a few stories and see if we can get some additional one-pointers?
Yep.
Okay, just a minute. An extra information on that. When I said a beginner, in this context, right now, the beginners are those who are new to the project, not necessarily someone who's new to Rails.
Right. Sure.
Yes, but we're intending to get. There's the Rails gas trading that Stella and Cess are doing.
Right.
So we're intending to get them in like 1.5 months' time. We're intending to get them to take part in these. So that's the point that we will need very beginner friendly.
Yes.
Yeah, but for now it is what we will be doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's. I mean, I think. Shall we just? I'm just going to start grab things and get voting on them. So the one item, and I think this has been pulled in as a relatively high issue, is that we've got this issue that some of the Do It volunteer opportunities that are being pulled in, that we're getting from the Do It API, although we're asking them for things within a certain range of Harrow, some of them are rather far away, which can be a bit disconcerting, which I can maybe show you. I'm just going to pop the votes on in the channel with its new features that we've developed recently. But so yeah, if I go to the main thing here and we look at the volunteer ops, there. So I think if we see like here, it's not a problem per se because we lock the size of this window to be over Harrow, but we do have sometimes, if I scroll down, going through the different ones, like that one, this one is actually, these ones now are outside the area. And I wonder if I can find one like Abbeyfield. There, if I zoom out, we can see that, maybe this week we haven't. That sometimes they're appearing like, in Europe and in Northwest England. And I think that's like a flaw on Do It side, that although we ask for them within a certain range, it's not always the case. And we don't do any filtering of the data that comes in from Do It in terms of checking, the location. So this feature here would be providing some mechanism to do that. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a weird cultural question. Do you not consider like England part of Europe?
No, we've left Europe. Didn't you hear the news?
But I mean, like the geographical.
Well, I think often we talk about mainland Europe and continental Europe and so on. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a pretty standard thing that we talk about Britain and Europe, and then there's some people
British breakfast, continental breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Like a great divide there.
Pretty much. Yep, it's eggs and bacon or having a croissant. But there we go. So does anybody need any further discussion before we vote on this issue?
I just want to confirm, it should be only from Harrow. I thought it was London in general.
It's actually specifically Harrow.
Ah, okay.
It's
London.
Yeah, region of Northwest London. I mean, I think for us as in Agile Ventures, we'd love to see this working for all around the world. From the client's point of view, this is very specific. That their remit is to support charities and organisations in the Harrow borough.
Okay.
So,
go on.
I guess one's maybe blunderbuss method, like getting to how to solve it, right?
Right.
We get back geo coordinates, right?
Right.
That's obviously how we're mapping them.
Yeah.
What if you just had a rectangle?
Yeah. Absolutely.
In which anything outside of that is just shaved off.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're asking. When we do the request to do it, we say, can we have everything within 3 miles of this location in the centre of Harrow? Right? And they're supposed to give us that back, but it's obviously failing for them due to whatever reason.
Also, I imagine that you would have to figure out. You would either have to figure out, for a fixed radius, like what that really is, 3 miles.
Right.
The other option is I could actually provide a set of coordinates which plot the border of Harrow or different areas. We could do it by postcode, district, or region. We could do it by the Westminster light contingency. There's different borders that we could use, and I've actually got all of those, so I can provide those.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think part of this would be looking into what is the easiest way to make it happen. And there's clearly like right, I mean, I'm sure that there are like geocoding gems or whatever, not just geocoding, but like things. But yeah, also Brent's got some stuff. Do we need any more discussion before we vote?
So this would be, I guess this could be done in Ruby.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
In principle, it's because it's a task that's being imported, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the filtering can be done.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of going through and we're doing other things like, there's certain other checks that are going on, and this would be basically it runs daily to import the data from Do It into our database. So we would just add some checks to that thing, in Ruby to say this, that, and the other.
Right. Would there be anything where we would have to expire old opportunities? Like,
we're already doing that. We're already basically we delete the things that are not that reoccur.
That don't reoccur like every day.
Yeah.
So basically, there's no separate task to like go through and prune the database.
No. I mean, we could. I mean, of course, we could do it filtering and let them come in, and then just add the functionality to when we display the page. But that would slow the site down, so probably better to do it on the one-off nightly task. All right, so we've got 2 votes, 3 votes, and if Sigu and Fernando want to vote, and of course, if you don't have no opinion, you can press the no opinion button. It's in the local support channel. And Sigu is voting. All right, let's go for a reveal on that. And we've got a consensus for medium. I've said simple. I think I'm happy to go with the consensus there. I was just thinking it shouldn't be. I mean, I guess like depending upon how you choose to do it, it could become, this and that. I think it's also not necessarily a wonderful thing for a beginner to do. So let's put that on a 2. So
I don't think it's a 20-minute.
No.
20-minute task.
No,
even for somebody that's not a beginner in the project.
I mean, I think that just going through these other ones here, the one pointer about the npm fail, that it's already been voted as a 1 pointer. I think someone who's already familiar with Node and npm, that would be a 1 pointer. So that's something to consider there, Sigu. This next one, ensure upcoming events have nicely formatted dates. I think that actually could be done in 20 minutes by somebody who was completely unfamiliar with the project, but. So this is stuff that I think Stella has done already, and it's just adjusting the dates so that instead of being like the full kind of computer date, it's like August the 25th instead or whatever, making it sort of human readable. Make dates for events more human friendly. E.g. August 25th. So going on. This one is definitely a complex one. There's no point in voting on that one right now. Search local events.
Before we move on to the next one, is it? Am I asking for too much if I say that we can at least add a tag for them so that it's easy to search through?
Totally, and we do have a label.
A label, yes.
A label, I believe, which is. Did we do it? Did we call it? I thought we had a label. I can't. Maybe we've got it in there. I think there was a label that we created, but we've got it. It's what's it on? It's on GitHub. But so let's make a new label because we can just do that here. Called beginner friendly.
Yes.
There we go. And put that in there. We've got that one. I guess I'll put it on this one as well. For people, obviously they'll need to know Node, but beginner friendly. There you go. And I think this search local events is fairly beginner friendly as well. although of course your mileage may vary. So we could do some more votes. We've got 3 there. Sigu, what do you think?
I think what we have is good enough for this particular weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I think let's look, because I know I want to make time for Fernando and Brent's issue, and of course what we can do is, Sigurd, feel free to start votes on anything from the Icebox, just using the async voter in the local support channel, and we can kind of continue that. Get more things voted on. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how to start the voter, by the way?
I can't really remember how it is done, but if you show me now, I think I might forget. So when I need that done,
well, I'll just show you, because what you do is you type / and then voter, and then it pops up what you need to do. You just write the title and the issue, and then it will do it.
The title, you get the title from the pivotal tracker title.
Yeah, but you can put it anything you want. It's free text, right? But we're suggesting that you. I mean, if I just go into bot test here, what I would encourage you to do is to go into bot test, and then you can basically just type like this, and it will start a vote on like that, and then we can just do whatever. But we're encouraging people that for the historical accuracy, that you do voter / voter, and then you write out whatever you. I mean, you can copy the title from Pivotal Tracker or wherever, and then you put a link to the thing, and then that will be on there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's go on to Brent and Fernando. Do you want to just summarize where you're up to?
Yes. I was talking to Brent earlier today, and first I have a question. We've been discussing about these organizations with missing latitude and longitude, and then we have also an idea that maybe we can have their zip code when we don't have the latitude and longitude. And I wanted to question if a company doesn't have any of this information, the right thing would be to not show it in the list, or even that way it is supposed to show in the list.
I think we should still show it in the list. Yeah, I don't think we want to penalize an organization because, in particular, like Do It has not correctly shown that, I mean, I think what we're seeing is that the Do It database, or the data that they're providing us over the API, has some flaws in it, that like sometimes they're giving us stuff that's not in the right location, and sometimes they're giving us stuff that doesn't have a latitude and longitude. So we kind of, I mean, we can certainly, if we choose to, we can exclude it in the first instance if that makes our lives easier.
No, it's just that if that was the idea, then I think we should move on to implement what is necessary to have more much information as possible about the localization.
Right.
And we'll have to write tests for that, and then remove the companies that doesn't have the information. Then we don't continue on this test we are trying, because it's been very hard, and we spend a lot of time on that.
Right.
We don't have any progress. The problem now is that the fail when the latitude and longitude is not present is very unstable. So it's hard to test that is not working, because it's an error. I just revert my fix locally, and it's like after a lot of time you can get an error, or you can get nothing.
Yes.
So it's very hard to test. I think the right way would be with Jasmine, but that is also hard to do. So if there's a solution like having zip codes and then doing another thing, I think it's better for the user.
Yes.
And then we spend time on something that brings value, to the user.
Definitely. Oh, that makes it. And well, excellent summary there, Fernando. What I would also say is, I spent some time with Brent looking at the issue, and yeah, it's difficult to capture in an acceptance test because it's it's an unpredictable. I mean, what's confusing to me, and we were looking at this yesterday, weren't we, Brent, is how the absence of the so what's happening is that the absence of latitude and longitude data is somehow, it doesn't immediately crash, but at some point it leads the Google's attempt to center the map in a certain location to like a cool stack overflow.
Yeah, that's weird. I was
go on.
Sorry, I interrupted you. No, I was taking a look at the documentation of this Google Maps JavaScript API, and it doesn't have, like for the set center method, we doesn't have much information about what happens if you call it without. So that's the problem. To me, it seems that when you call it without information, I think he tries to do something, but you get after some times you get an error, or not.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I think it's clear that the acceptance test is not going to work. When I look at this, it seems to me that the Jasmine test that would at least cover this would be to extract this function to a separate function, and then I could just run a Jasmine test that tests that these methods are not called, or even that just I have a single function. I could extract this to a single function, and I just can check that that this works. Now, I think it would be relatively straightforward for me to write a Jasmine test for that, and maybe here, I know you've already tried it and got stuck on it. I mean, I've got a lot of experience with Jasmine previously. Maybe it's a better allocation of resources. Maybe leave this with me, and I can show you how the Jasmine test works, or get egg on my face because I totally fail, and it's like maybe it's better that it blows up in my face because you've done you fixed the original problem, you've done amazing work, and I think like you guys maybe focusing in on a different thing, as you say, like, and delivering some more value to the customer and the end user would be fantastic. And on that note, what I would say is this issue here, this embedded version of the map that could go in iframes, this is the client flagged as highest priority, and it's, I think, also quite an interesting ticket. So you were interested in working on this, I think that would be fantastic, but it doesn't have to be that. If you'd like to work on handling the case, more gracefully handling the case when the ID, the Latin long is not present, we could sort of set that up on voting tickets. But I think that the exciting thing about this feature, which is the idea that, excuse me, that we would be able to make the kind of just the map portion of the site available, like we'd have like an endpoint like this, like called iframe. And if you just went to it, it would just show you a stripped down version of the site which just had the map on it. And then we would be able to, and this was the gosh, what's the name? The client's suggestion from the last meeting is, prior to, what they were trying to do is get that into the local council website, which would be a big coup for us. But what they're saying is, if we can generate this, iframe endpoint, we could start off by putting it into, this website, which is their website, and then that gives them, the leverage to say to the council, look, here it is, it's working, it's ready to go. Because ironically, the Harrow Council volunteering page has got a plugin from Do It that's broken. So if we could show them a working version, then that would be, let's see, is it going to work now? No, we didn't do it. It's broken. Look. So if we could show them our plugin working in this site, we could potentially get these guys to swap out this for, and that suddenly raises the profile of everything we're doing by a big long way.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I think I can work on that with Brent.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that as well. That sounds really interesting.
Excellent, wonderful. Okay, I think problem solved, or at least problem shifted onto me, and which is just as good. Excellent. Okay, well, I think we are coming up on time. Did anybody else have any other business for the local support meeting? If not, I will say adieu, or ciao, or sayonara, depending upon where you are in the world. Great seeing you all, guys. Sigu, love the initiative. Just please reach out for any help that you need, and best of luck with the initiative. Sounds wonderful.
All right, thanks. And we'll be giving you feedback on maybe if someone doesn't understand how you put across your issues, then we'll be giving such feedbacks to you.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. I'll be right. I'll make sure I'll revise all of the things before Saturday.
All right.
Okay. Great stuff, guys. Bye for now. Take care.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.